Dr. Jamyang, and I hope you all have received the pages. Yes. So the main topic is all related to how to love oneself in right way. So I hope you all will ask questions at the end. But before that, I would like to give a brief about Dr. Jamyang. So, of course, we all are aware that he's the principal Chinese translator of the 14th, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, and he
in Chinese language.
Yes, in Chinese language, and I'm so sorry, yeah, Dr. Jamyang. And
Otherwise, Dr. Tubenjima will complain me.
Okay. So he's also a distinguished scholar of Buddhist philosophy and a PhD graduate from Harvard University. Born in Taiwan, Dr. Jamyang came to India at the age of 12 to pursue the monastic life. He studied at the Institute of Buddhist Dialectics in Dharamsala before, and then he went to Harvard, and he loves to explore and travel. I also checked that. And perhaps this is like even for all of us, because it's the third day and we all have been waiting for this day that Dr. Jamyang would tell us about how to love and oneself in much more better way. So I hope you all will enjoy the session, and thank you so much, Dr. Jamyang, once again on behalf of all the
charities. First, I would like to, is sound okay? Sound is okay? Loud enough or not? Hello? Oh, sorry, I didn't turn it on. Hello? Can you hear me clearly?
Not yet.
Hello? Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
I forgot what I should say. First, I would like to do one experiment. How about we recite Om Mani Padme Hum mantra 21 times? Just simply for the benefit for all sentient beings with sincerity, and we do recitation without any selfishness thinking, simply just for help all sentient beings for their peace, for their happiness and enjoyment. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. How about we do this now? We know that we have specific enemies, like someone who really treat you so bad, hurt you so harmful, in a brutal way. Those people, we consider them as specific enemies. If you have those specific enemies, please raise your hand. Yeah, okay. Or you have, let's say, enemies in general, broader sense. For instance, those people who have different or opposite political standpoint. For instance, my case, a lot of things I don't agree with Donald Trump, even though I'm American, passport holder, but a lot of things I don't agree with Donald Trump. So for those people who have opposite political standpoint or religious standpoint, those people you can consider them as enemies in general. No matter is specific enemy or enemy in general, right now we are going to invite them as VIP people in the front line, represent all sentient beings. Right now, what we want to do is that we dedicated the recitation of 21 Om Mani Padme Hum mantras that merit to them with sincerity. How about we do that right now? You must have clear images that they are in front of us in the first line, those so-called enemy, whether it's in specific or in general, we really wish them good, happy. Okay, this is the experiment. For those of you, if you do it without any hindrances, without any problems, congratulations. That means your previous life must have done very good altruistic mind training. So you have that latency, you have that habituation, so that in this life, easily you can encounter the so-called enemy. If you are not comfortable while you are doing such dedication, if you feel any level of uncomfort for this purpose, I still want to congratulate you, because finally you know what is the resentment breath. Resentment breath is like something stuck here. You are not able to get it out. You are not able to swallow it. There's something heavy inside. I call it resentment breath. That is the byproduct of self-centered attitude. That's the problem. Because of that resentment breath, basically we hand over the remote control to our enemies to control our emotions. Why would I say that? For instance, right now we are living in a very happy and peaceful atmosphere, right? Without any negative emotion right now, currently. But once I request you to recall the so-called enemy, don't you feel something wrong inside? Even though you just heard his or her name, you start feeling uncomfortable, isn't it? Why would we allow us in such position? We want freedom. Every moment we want happiness. Every moment we want mastery over our own emotion. We don't want to lose our inner comfort no matter what. Every moment, every second, we don't want to lose such inner comfort. That is our goal. Because everyone pursues happiness. Everyone wants to be free from suffering. But why would we put ourselves into such position? Why would we do that? So basically, the so-called enemy didn't talk to you, didn't interact with you right now. You just simply recall his or her name, then you become suffering. Why would we do that? So that's why I said that the resentment breed, there's something stuck inside. There is a byproduct of self-centered attitude. If you have that, the tendency is like dictatorship. Whoever treats you nicely, then you praise them, you treat them good. Whoever does something opposite to your thought, then you consider them as enemy. And even worst case, you want to eliminate them, even their life. If it is not dictator, what is dictator? So if we indulge in the self-centered attitude, it sound okay? So what should I do? I don't know. It sound okay? Okay. If you're okay, I don't mind, but I don't know whether you're okay or not. So if we indulge in the self-centered attitude, then the tendency automatically become dictator. That's what we are doing. That's why in this Normal people without education, without religious training, when they think love oneself, they automatically think that they should put themselves in the first position, top priority. That's wrong. If you do so, that means your mental focus will fully put down, you will focus on such narrow eye. In that case, your mental perspective will get narrow, 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 so that your mind would not have wider perspective. That is the side effect of self-centered attitude. If you really love yourself, if you want to maintain your inner comfort last long forever, if you don't want to get any impact from outside causes or conditions, if you want to maintain inner peace stable, what you should do is that you love yourself, no problem, but you put others in the first position. You put others in top priority, not yourself. That is the main point. But still, it's easy to say, not easy to practice. That's the problem. That's why you should practice on a daily basis. So if you have the so-called enemies, you should invite them as a VIP people, and then you practice, cultivate the sense of gratitude towards them. Why we should do that? Why we should do that? Why we are grateful to those enemies who hurt us so badly? Why we do that? Because you want happiness. You don't want your mind controlled by them. You want to be mastery over your own mind. You want the inner comfort state forever and stay stable. That's why the hindrance, the obstacle, the most difficult part is that when you encounter the so-called enemy, you lose the control. That's the problem, isn't it? So if whenever you meet enemies, you lose your control, that means enemy is the best chance allowing you to practice, isn't it? That's why I call it, if you look at the handout, second page, I call it bell ringing mindfulness. Bell ringing mindfulness. We know that alarm clock has no motivation, treat you nicely. But it has a function, can wake you up on time. Similarly, those so-called enemies are not treating you good with intention, but they have a function like alarm clock. The function is the works as wake-up call. Their presence and the way they have done to you like wake-up call, allowing you to know that attitude, not that person. That's the function. Works as bell ringing, works as alarm clock works. Do you get my point? So that even though enemy treats you so bad, but still you can look at from another perspective, allowing you to know that the real abuser, real offender is not the person, but his or her self-centered attitude. That is the core idea of such bell-ringing mindfulness. If you can do it on the daily practices, definitely you will overcome such negative emotion. So the core idea is not my invention, it's not created by me. That's why if you look at the handout first page, these two verses below act as an all-in-one tool All-in-one tool meaning no matter what conditions are for you to have negative emotions, you can use this tool. You can use these tools to remove your negative emotion. So first is that is said by Aryadeva Pavaha. Tuben Nyumong Dasiki, Nyumong Nangje Kangsami. Aryadeva said that the Buddha regarded the afflictions are true enemy, never the persons who are bound by those afflictions. But the problem is, don't you notice that whenever we are angry, whenever we have such strong negative emotion, we immediately blame that person, those people, isn't it? We never blame their own hidden self-centered attitude. That's why we always pinpoint the wrong object. That's why we always angry at the people or person. We never angry at their self-centered attitude. That's the problem. If we are blaming the wrong offender, this is our fault. We should know the reality. The reality is that every offender is their self-centered attitude which hidden inside of the depth of their heart. So once we know the real offenders are self-centered attitude, not the people, then automatically we can understand that these people are the patient of abuse. They are victims. They are not the object I should blame at. So I'm blaming the wrong object. In that case, we can understand that why we have to pity on them. We have to generate compassion towards them. Because they are like me, they are pursuing happiness, they want to be free from suffering, unfortunately under the control of their own self-centered attitude, they become the patient of abuse, they become victim. So I have sufficient reason to show. That's the main idea. That's why I call these two verses below act as all-in-one tool. Because all negative emotion, if it is related to the people interaction, this is very useful. It will help you to remind you what is the reality is. Once you know the reality, you know that every person, every people are always never be the object you should blame at. So this is the citation is said by Aryadeva. I hope you can keep this verse, and if you can, then you can memorize that. So whenever negative emotions come, you just recite it. It will cool you down. It will help you to understand, oh, the so-called enemy is still the patient of abuse. Here, it is not sentient beings who are at fault. So the real offenders are not sentient beings, never sentient beings. It is afflictions that are to blame. So if you really want to show your anger, you want to angry at someone, here is the afflictions, never those people who have afflictions. So the core idea of such bell ringing mindfulness is based on these two verses. So it's not more. We have to wake up on time even earlier because his owners always arrive there on time and before that. So that's why we have to be there in advance. And that's why I prepare a very good alarm clock to wake me up. One of my friends who is kind of funny, he put 5 alarm clocks. And at the end, he didn't wake up, but his neighbors all woke up. Anyway, so let me repeat one more time. Alarm clock has no intention to help you. So do enemies. They don't have intention to help you. But alarm clock has a function. It gives you wake-up call. It calls you on the right time that you really want to wake up. Similarly, in the same manner, those so-called enemies, they have the same function. Their presence and the way they treat you is like alarm clock, telling you that the real abuser, the real offender is a self-centered attitude. That's why you should love yourself, but you never put yourself in the first position, top priority. Okay, what should we do? For instance, we often meet some strangers who are so easily to be angry with you, but we don't know his or her name. In that case, I call him or her first person if you don't know the name. If you know the name, please precise his or her name in the bell ringing mindfulness the quotation. So when we interact with people, basically the interaction can be categorized into 2. One is negative interaction, one is positive interaction. So no matter from which perspective, is either from negative interaction or positive interaction, you can find a way to cultivate the sense of gratitude towards the particular person. So let's say I met someone who I don't know his or her name, and he or she is so easy to get angry, lose his or her temper. In that case, I met him, right? So what should I do? I will do this. Grateful for you. Whose name and is so and so. If you know his or her name, then you can precisely call his or her name. If you don't know, you can say first person or second person. Actually, I have 18 objects. I practiced this after my second retreat. During my first retreat, I think it was in 2015, 2016. I focused on mainly the tantra, 戒咒, 戒律, 咒律. A lot about channels, the energy and so forth. But my teacher who passed away, he insists me that you should practice compassion and bodhicitta more than this energy or channels. Because without those foundations, you are not able to build up, getting, enjoying those tantric, achievements. That's why after my Gela passed away, passed away, my wife and I, we both did second retreat in Taiwan. That time pandemic was going on. And for the tantric like Gezo, I just quickly did it, but I didn't put a lot of effort on it. That time I really listened, my late Gela, whatever my late Gela told me, I spent most of the time on compassion training. Before that second retreat, the way I practice bodhicitta, because in order to reach bodhicitta, you need to have altruistic mind, altruism. The real altruism meaning you should consider everyone else other than yourself are top priority. You are always secondary. I should say, I am always secondary. You, he, she, always top priority. And that kind of mental state should be reached spontaneous, uncontrived. Spontaneous means without thinking, you just generate such mental state. That's called spontaneous. Contrived means whenever there's appropriate causes and conditions come together, that kind of altruistic mind generated by itself spontaneously whenever you encounter such appropriate causes and conditions. So that's called RINCHEN JAMYANG. In Tibetan word, we call without intention. And it's like what? When girls saw those henny specs, spontaneous, uncontrived, altruistic mind. So that's why before the second retreat, the way I practice, the way I cultivate the altruistic mind is mainly on debate. What is the benefit of altruistic mind? What is the problems of self-centered attitude? So in my mind, I have two roles. They are always arguing each other and debate each other. This is the way I did before second retreat. But all of a sudden, I got this analogy, alarm clock, and then I found this mindfulness is more targeted compared with debate between self-centered attitude and altruism. Is more in general. So then, after my second retreat, starting doing this bell ringing mindfulness for a few years, I really found that all sentient beings before me there are the real objects of gratitude. There are the sources of sense of gratitude. I really feel such strong equality. 大仙娘巴结瓦，大仙娘界. Maybe you heard that term, right? Nyamba means equality between I and you, right? It's not equality between I and you, but from this mindfulness practice, what I found is that from my perspective, every other sentient beings are equal. It's not I equal to you, but from my perspective, 答了对吗？先看见样吧。Not really I equal to you. We both are in the same position. Not that case. I am always the secondary position. Others always in the top priority. If I and others are equal, then how come I can become secondary? There's no reason. So from this bell ringing mindfulness, I really felt that like from my perspective, every other sentient beings are equality. In that case, I built up the foundation of exchange. Exchange meaning, right now, what we are doing is that we put ourselves in the first position, top priority, always. Since you cultivate the sense of gratitude, gradually your mental focus will shift from yourself then to other all sentient beings. That's the real practice of exchange. Shift your mental focus from I, singularity I, to multiple others. That's how it does, how it works. So grateful for you, whose name is so and so, or first person, second person, your presence and all you have done for me. Why I say your presence? In order to remove poverty, we need wealth. We need wealth resources, right? So without wealth resources, there's no way we could remove the poverty. Similarly, without others' presence, there's no way I can eliminate my own self-centered attitude. That's why I say presence. All you have done to me is like, if you don't have any interaction with me, if I don't invest my money into American market, I don't get any benefits from American market, right? If I don't invest any capitals in American market, I don't get benefit. Similarly, if you don't do any interaction with me, I don't get any benefit from you. So compare with your presence, whatever you have done to me is more direct, is more, the impact is more stronger. Benefit is more stronger. Resound like the chime of bell, helping me find clarity and deeper understanding. Clarity means, I call it rational breakthrough. Deeper understanding, I call it emotional breakthrough. Whenever your inner realization went up and up, when you increase your inner realization, there are a few breakthroughs you will experience. So for the rational breakthrough, meaning right now we are in very calm position, right? Everyone. So all of a sudden, my friend told me about some unpleasant thing, unpleasant experience, which happened 5 years ago, let's say. Originally, I should have a calm mind, but because I all of a sudden recall whatever I experienced 5 years ago, then I suddenly become so angry. In that case, it's not rational breakthrough. Rational breakthrough is that when you are in a calm position, no matter what you recall in the past or in the future maybe, then you realize on the rational level, you realize that no offenders are people. If it is person, never, never, never be offender. All those so-called enemies, if they are people, they're always the patient of abuse. They are the object I should be pity of. So you keep this kind of rational thinking, always, that's called rational breakthrough. So that's why I said that helping me find clarity and deeper understanding. Deeper understanding means emotional breakthrough. Emotional breakthrough means spontaneous and uncontrived those experience, which is not easy. Still, today, I still get angry if someone says something odd to me, all of a sudden, but it won't last long, few seconds only. Yeah. If I continue to indulge in self-centered attitude, allowing it to control my mind, my thought, I will surely become easily angered. So the good thing about this mindfulness is that basically the sentence is the same. Sentence structure is the same. Logic, pattern is the same. But still, you can change according to the interaction detail. So that's why I bolded and underlined them. So you can change the name of the object. You can change the interaction details according to what happened to you. So I surely become easily angry. Therefore, I sincerely thank you. So if you have someone who really annoying you a lot, you can practice that. Try it with his or her name, and you think what kind of interaction you feel annoying, you just put it here. I will surely become such person. So this is about negative interaction. For the positive interaction is here. Grateful for you, whose name is so and so, is the same for or first person, second person, especially for arousing the heart of compassion, which has fostered meaningful connection between us. I'm truly grateful. So when you practice this mindfulness, you have to have sense of gratitude, not just reading the words. If just simply reading the words is not going to help you a lot, it's not going to help you a lot. But if you read it with deeply consideration and feeling, especially sense of gratitude, definitely it will help you a lot. It will help you a lot. Because this kind of practice is like face it head on, address it directly. But compared with deep breathing, it's like shifting the mental focus, right? If you recall someone hurt you so badly, if you recall such bad experience, then you try to calm yourself. You do it deep breathing, like vipassana, right? At that moment, probably your mind will become calm. But the problem is, as soon as you open your eyes, you saw that person, then you get angry. So it's not going to help you directly. So that's why I say this practice is not face it head on. It's not head on. You don't address it directly. You just shift the mental focus. But with this bell ringing mindfulness, it works directly to the object that you are looking at. So this is very helpful, at least to me. Hopefully, it will help to you. So I just bring a few cases. For instance, if you look at down, example second, for the negative emotion, like parents love to nag you, right? Say something, nag you a lot. So I don't know, you might have such habit to nag someone, but you are so tired to get nagged. You don't want to be nagged. Parents always say something to you, you didn't do that, you didn't do that, you didn't do that. So you're so tired to get nagged, right? So in that case, grateful for you, parents. Your presence and all you have done for me resound like the chime of a bell, helping me find clarity and deeper understanding. If I continue to indulge in self-centered attitude, allowing it to control my thoughts, I will surely become learning to nag. Therefore, I sincerely thank you. So when you meditate and cultivate such mindfulness, it's not encouraging you to think that person how bad it is. No. Your focus is that how bad their self-centered attitude is, not that person. You always distinguish actor and their action. For their action, you use wisdom to deal with their action, always. As far for the actors, because they are people, always the object of our sense of gratitude. You should use the compassion attitude towards them as people. Why? Because they are always the victims. They are always the patients of abuse. So you always distinguish actor and action. We have such potential. But when we are controlled by self-centered attitude, when we indulge in such self-centered attitude, allowing it to control us, we forget the such differences. For instance, when mother takes care of baby, the baby probably 3 or 4 months baby who love to eat candies, right? Then mother will say, oh, don't eat candies. You are not allowed to eat candies. But that does not mean that mother doesn't care her baby. She still loves her baby. But in like a drama, sometimes we often see kind of dialogue between boyfriend and girlfriend saying that you don't care about me because you don't care about my feeling, right? You don't care me because you don't care about my feeling. Okay, in that case, the mother really cared about her baby, but mother doesn't care about the baby what he thinks, what he or she thinks. The baby only thinks, I want candies. But mother that time doesn't care baby's feeling. So we have a potentiality to distinguish that actor and the actor's feeling. So we should put our inner comfort as top priority, but we don't put ourselves top priority. Do you see the difference? The reason why, the ultimate reason why we want to learn Buddhism, because every one of us here are pursuing happiness. We want to be free from suffering. So our inner comfort is such important. We want to put as top priority. That's okay. You should consider your inner comfort top priority. It doesn't matter. This is right way to do, no problem. But when you put inner comfort in the top priority, don't put yourself as top priority. It makes such differences. As a people, as a person, as an actor, if you put I, the singularity I, as a top priority, then you'll easily get offense. Because one expression, one smile. You know what? Recently in South Korea, one girl was killed, first raped and then killed, because a young boy who just released from prison, jail, on the road, they just encountered each other. The lady just saw the boy for a few seconds. That's it, because of the eye contact, and he feel he's being offended. And that's why he followed the girl and raped the girl and killed the girl. So if you always consider I, if you always put I in top priority, sooner or later you become that person, that Korean boy killer, because you are so easily get offended. Even though that person didn't meet you for a long time, you just remember his name, then you get angry. You get so your mind fulfilled with hatred sense. Why should you do that? So putting yourself in the top priority does differ than putting your inner comfort as top priority. It's totally different. You and your inner comfort should be separate. Your goal, your life, everyone has their own goal, right? For Buddhists, our ultimate goal is achieve Buddhahood. You can put that in the top priority, no problem. But those Bodhisattvas will not put themselves as people top priority. When they put their own Buddhahood, while they put the Buddhahood as top priority, they don't put themselves top priority. So people don't get clear distinction between these two. So I hope from this lecture you learn your inner comfort is important. In order to stabilize your inner comfort, you should put others top priority. You never put I priority. So this is, you should love yourself, no problem, but love oneself in the right way. You should realize how to love oneself in the right way. This is way important. So let's say if your parents love to nag you a lot, then whenever parents say blah, 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 a lot of things, nagging you a lot, then you back home, then you do this bell ringing mindfulness. Grateful for your parents. Your presence, all you have done to me, resound like the chime of the bell, helping me find clarity, deeper understanding. If I continue to indulge in self-centered attitude, allowing it to control my thoughts, I will surely become loving to nag. Or I will surely become fear of being nagged. Because one of my friends who told me that I don't have that habituation of nagging, so I'm basically not possible to will become, no matter what self-centered attitude controls me, for me it's impossible to become such person. Then I said to her that, so during you and your husband interaction, what really bothered you? She said that fear of being nagged. Then I said put it in the underline bracket. So in that way you can find another excuse to cultivate sense of gratitude towards your husband. But for the positive, of course, grateful for you parents, especially for what? Your nurturing love and care, which has fostered a meaningful connection between us. I'm truly grateful. So this is example second. So third example is like when you have a particular friend. Have you heard emotional blackmail? Yeah. Oh, you are Buddhist, so you are helping a lot of people. Right now, I'm lack of 10,000. Could you please give me some money or something like that, right? First, put you high position and then ask you a lot of things. Okay, if you have a particular friend who often does emotionally blackmailing, then in that case, you can do this. Grateful for you, that whose name is so-and-so, your presence and all you have done for me resound like the chime of a bell, helping me find clarity and deeper understanding. If I continue to indulge in self-centered attitude, allow me to control my thoughts, I will surely become emotionally blackmailing others, or fear of being emotionally blackmailed. That's negative interaction. For positive interaction is friendship. Sometimes he or she might do the emotional blackmail, but it doesn't mean always, right? Sometimes your friend will treat you nicely. The friendship is there. So example 4 is particular supervisor who is very stingy. You might encounter such supervisor, right? So in that case, grateful for you, my supervisor, your presence and all you have done for me resound like the chime of a bell, helping me find clarity and deeper understanding. If I continue to indulge in self-centered attitude, allowing it to control my thoughts, I will surely become what? A stingy, or fear of being treated stingily. Up to you. Which one impacts you a lot? Then you put it in the bracket. You put it in the bold and underline that one. And positive is that particular supervisor, your occasional care and support, occasional, not always. At least you have some positive interaction. You can use that occasional positive connection to foster a meaningful connection between you and your boss. And example 5, like son or daughter, probably most of you here, you don't have children. So like taking advantage is the negative interaction. And for the positive interaction is your dependence on me. I love someone rely on me, when I have a pet, her name is Hamo. Oh, she loves to go with me, follow with me. I love this kind of feeling. So depends on me is like positive interaction. So basically, this is what I really want to share with you because this mindfulness helped me a lot. Honestly, from second retreat, which happened in 2020 May, until today, I never miss a single day during this practice. And now my object become 18. When my object of this such mindfulness become 18, all of a sudden I realized that those people in front of me, probably we just didn't have karmic relationship, but all of them are equally the object of my sense of gratitude. From this perspective, is the same. They all are the same resources of my happiness. Because once you arise the sense of gratitude, your heart becomes so warm. That is the meaningful life, isn't it? That is a source of confidence. That is a source of encouragement. That is the source of moving forward. Sometimes a few friends are still saying that, oh, you didn't treat me nicely, but I don't really care. Because this is your perspective, but from my side, every day, without missing one single day, I generate such sincerity. I generate such sense of gratitude towards you. That practice is such precious. So the real treating other is change your mind. Change your mind from self-centered attitude dominance to altruistic mind dominance. That is the real way to treat others well. That's why I give you another very useful and more powerful sources. If you look at the second one, 게들조와 을원에 집에 팔을 칭이나 단들조젠 유남은 요마지다 팔을 칭 또마 탐제 되제대 요구나 땅생디 집에 팔을 칭순대 대대 대인생이도. So Shantideva said such question and answer. So question is, if the perfection of generosity, we know there are 6 perfections, right? So if the perfection of generosity meant eliminating the poverty of every sentient being, then since poverty still remains in the world, how could the protector of the past have perfected generosity? Here is the answer, and also the support of my theory. The perfection of generosity is said to consist in completely abandoning all sentient beings towards all stinginess towards every sentient being without exception. Therefore, the perfection of generosity lies entirely in the mind. So treating others nicely, of course you can treat others nicely through body, speech, that's okay, but this is secondary. The main, real treating others nicely is daily, persistent cultivation. Cultivate what? Cultivate sense of gratitude towards him or her. So when you practice this sense of gratitude every day, the clear conscience really build up the confidence, no matter what people say to you. Oh, you didn't treat me nicely, you didn't listen to me. You don't care, because from your depth of your heart, you very clearly know that you treat them nicely, because you practice every day. And the snowball effect is such powerful. If you do it, cultivate sense of gratitude every day, it will help you a lot. Don't ignore such snowball effect. When we say we have to be warm-hearted people, but we don't know how to practice, isn't it? So this is the way we can practice. So please invite the so-called enemies in front of you and target them, focus them, and then think the reality. They are also the patients of abuse. They are also the victims. On this basis, you generate compassion. Afterwards, basically, they are sacrificing their own happiness to give you the lessons. What lessons? How bad the self-centered attitude is. So basically, not only reminder, but also sacrifice their own happiness. That's why I'm so grateful for you. Hope you guys can practice such mindfulness every day. It's very helpful. For me, it's very helpful. For the regular mindfulness, most of the people will say breathe, inhale, exhale, and so forth. But for this case, mindfulness, you will generate such warm feeling. And that sense of gratitude, really, when the sense of gratitude fulfills with your heart, there's no precious thing important than this kind of feeling. At least for me, I don't find it. I haven't found a more precious thing than this kind of feeling. So right now, I really realize that Buddha and Bodhisattvas, their compassion is not spontaneous. They really put a lot of effort. They reap what they saw. They really practice so hard. So they gain such kind of achievement. So we can do the same. So do we. We can do the same. If we want to practice and insist, persist, do it on a daily basis, definitely we can achieve Buddha Bodhisattva's compassion without any doubt. Yeah, here's my talk. 1 hour exactly. If you have any questions, welcome. Oh, sorry. Another verse. I missed another verse. That one also very helpful for my daily interaction with people, because some people always doing some strange things. So in that case, if something can be remedied, what reason is there to be upset about it? If something cannot be remedied, what benefits is there in becoming upset? So this is very useful too. So I hope to give you as a gift for your daily life. Okay, any questions?
Hello. Test it again.
Test it.
Thank you so much for your time and teaching. Just need a little clarification on what you said about you clearly distinguish as a person, myself, me, myself, the gross myself, and the inner comfort. I think you have clearly distinguished on that. But when it comes to me developing this altruistic mind or compassion, is it applies to the same as to the subject, that the subject is a person and the others and the inner comfort of the others? So should I my subject of compassion should be the person or the inner comfort of the person? Is that also applies on the other person as well?
So when you talk about people, you always use compassionate attitude. So your compassion, the object of your compassion is that person. But when you deal with the actions or any efficacies of that person or any features, characteristics of the person, you deal with wisdom. So treating others well does not mean you have to become people pleaser. You don't want to become flatterer. You don't want to flatter anyone. But treating other people nicely, meaning you practice sense of gratitude towards others with sincerity. But on the daily basis, if you are dealing with a business or whatever matter, you deal with wisdom. But as a person or that people, you always treat them nicely with compassion. Nowadays, I'm driving here, right? If you have a driving experience, you know how terrible Nalanda driving is. Drivers are, some of them, not all of them. Those just without any signal and park in the middle of the road, and maybe wondering what's happening right now. Actually, we are calling their friend. That's it. So I told you I don't have, even though I try to practice altruistic mind since when I was 12, until now I'm 48. Tibetan lunar year, I'm 49. Yeah. For the last 3 decades, more than 3 decades, almost 4 decades, I try my best to practice altruistic mind, especially after graduation. I never miss one day, never absent one day to practice such altruistic mind. Still, I didn't achieve spontaneous, uncontrived altruistic mind state. I didn't achieve that. But what I achieved probably rational practice, I did it. When it's come, I always remember I should not angry at anyone. Even though I Donald Trump's strange policies, I said it with guilty because I know it's not his fault. So when I see such instance on the road while I was driving, all of a sudden I get angry, right, for a few seconds. But after that, then I will do this mindfulness thinking. You know, grateful for you. Then in that case, 19% or 19 VIP, your presence, all you have done to me, resound like the chime of bell, helping me find clarity and deeper understanding. If I continue to indulge in self-centered attitude, allowing me to control my thoughts, I will surely become strange driver. Therefore, I sincerely thank you. After doing it a few times, if I got a chance to meet him or her, the driver, I won't have anything like resentment breathe here. I feel very comfortable to interact with him or her without any problem. So I hope I answer your question. So in short, the object of compassion should be people or person. Yeah.
Julie,
That's great.
first of all, I want to thank for this wonderful session. So my question is that if any individual person want to do something improvement in their life, she might have the fear of judging by others and due to shyness. So because I personally seen this mostly in the Ladakhi case. So to overcome from this situation, what's the practical solution would you like to give?
I think I answered your questions for the last 1 hour session already. I hope you didn't sleep at that time. I told you that if you practice, cultivate the sense of gratitude to the people surrounding you, gradually you will gain a clear conscience. That is the source of confidence, so that you don't fear anyone. You don't feel nervous. Because in your eyes, you look at all the people surrounding you as resources of happiness, as objects of sense of gratitude. Whenever you encounter everyone in front of me, I really think you are the object of my sense of gratitude, meaning you are the resources of happiness. The only difference between my father, my parents, my wife, and you is karmic relationship. That's it. Otherwise, I should treat you the same. It's like if I own a land, I heard that long time back in Ladakh, no one really cared about land, but nowadays really people love land. Let's say 15 years ago, I have a land in Ladakh, right? But there's some gold inside of my land, but I didn't know that. It's underneath, like 50 meters underneath. And then a few years later, due to technique improvement and so forth, I found, oh, I got gold bars. So I dig out a few gold bars already. And I know there are some gold bars are underneath of my land. Since those gold bars belong to me, I don't care whether it's dig out or not dig out yet. For me, gold bar is the same. For me, I will treat them nicely, equally. It's like that. The difference between my parents, my wife, my brother, and you, only karmic relationship or not. Otherwise, from the perspective of object of sense of gratitude, from this perspective, is the same. So when you practice those sense of gratitude every day, gradually, you don't expect you will gain such achievement within 1 day or 2 days, 3 days. You won't happen in short time. There's no shortcut in practice. There's no shortcut. There's only self-discipline and persistent cultivation. So you practice every day, gradually, then you will start feeling all the people surrounding you are the object of sense of gratitude. But it won't happen right away. I told you, I got the teaching from my, of course, His Holiness Dalai Lama and late Director of Institute of Buddhist Analytics, Losang Gyaltso, and Gentom Chu. I often hear, when I was a child, I often hear such teachings. And our teacher always told us to dedicate our 3 times merits to all sentient beings, right? Actually, I was kind of forced myself to dedicate that. I don't want to do that. In my mind, I thought that those merits, I put my own effort, I earned it. Why should I give them for free? Until when I was 17. So it took me 5 years. Because of the resentment break here, I told you the byproduct of the self-centered attitude. In my mind, I really thought at that time, I put a lot of effort to accumulate such merits. Why should I give it for free? And then, all of a sudden, one day, all of a sudden, I thought, just do it. It's kind of an all-out attitude, all out. Let's try it. Why not? And that day, I really totally dedicated my 3 times merits to all sentient beings with sincerity. That was my first time I feel such relief. Then I realized, oh, self-centered attitude really controlled me so tight, so that my mind would not have relaxed. That's my own experience. So you don't want to expect it will happen to you right away. But what you should know is that is spontaneous, uncontrived, altruistic mind worth become your life goal or not? You should really think about that. If you think this is your life goal, you should achieve that. Then start doing practice on a daily basis. I hope I answered your questions.
So Dr. Rinchen, due to a lack of time, we were able to take only 2 questions and so
Sure.
But then if anyone has any kind of questions, you can write it down and we can pass it to them later. Thank you so much. With so much energy, you have put forward all the points in just one page. I guess I hope that everyone, when we go back from the retreat, will surely try to work on it, especially the bell reading mindfulness. And yes, as you mentioned that you can practice with your parents when they start nagging.
Yeah,
But for
sure.
the past few days, I have been nagging them, so they can start preparing from practicing with me. And, okay, so jokes apart, Dr. Jamyang, thank you so much once again on behalf of Flying Dharma team and on behalf of all the participants and Ajay Manchanda also for being so humble, and I really wanted to appreciate her as well because she has been very selfless and humble person I've ever met. Like, thank you so much, Ajay
Thank you.
Manchanda.
And if you want to know further more about what I just gave you lecture about this content, um, I did online course, but in Mandarin language, not in English. And this is the all content about the first course. If you want to know more, you can learn a lot from here. So I will send this PDF to Usho Sampu, yeah, and then you can forward this PDF to them. It has 22 pages. If you want to know more about this mindfulness practice, yeah, and then hope this will help you.
Thank you so much. And we have a small token of gratitude to use there. And so I kindly request Aji Ishele to come forward and present the token of gratitude on behalf of Clearing Dharma and our retreat participants. Maybe have a big round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now I request Khandole to please come forward and present the token of gratitude to Aji Anchala. Aji Anchala, please.
Very true.
Last but not the least, if we can request you to have a group photo with all of us so that we all can have a
Sure,
picture
no
and
problem.
memories there.
Sure,
Thank you so much.
Sure. 디기도 같이 하는 디기도. No.
It's just outside we can.
같이 하는 대화입니다.
Could you please quickly come outside? Thank you so much.
Which one is yours? Which one is mine? I got
This is
no.
I think this one. Yeah,
This one is
yeah, it
okay.
is. Thank you so much.